and thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk about fraud in America. It's a growing concern for businesses, institutions, and individuals. Fraud actors prey on the vulnerable and those who are unaware. Identity theft happens every 22 seconds. Scams are continuous, and each of us have experienced some type of phishing, smishing, or vishing scam at least once. The scams are increasingly becoming harder to detect, but with consistent awareness and education, we can do our best to combat fraud actors and save ourselves from a financial and emotional nightmare. With us today is Logan Kilpatrick. He is a certified fraud examiner, intelligence analyst, leader, and fraud investigator. He has a wealth of knowledge and experience in fraud mitigation and prevention. We're going to dive into some questions for Logan to get a better understanding of fraud in America and what's going on out there. So welcome, Logan.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I got a couple questions for you. So tell us about yourself, your certifications, your experience in fraud prevention and in this industry.
Yeah, you kind of hit it on the note as far as earlier. What's all Logan Kilpatrick. I'm a certified fraud examiner. I'm an intelligence analyst, a fraud investigator, as well as a leader of fraud investigators. It's a lot of different things, a lot of many hats. I've been doing it for the past 10 years. I just have a passion for it. It started from when I first started my career, just on opportunity, and I just wanted to make sure I help people.
Good. Okay. So what are some of the common themes of fraud you're seeing today?
So many. Yeah, as far as the one that comes to mind is impersonators. And when I say impersonators, that's a very vague statement. But a lot of times our individuals receive calls from a financial institution, and an individual calls you. So, hey, Teddy, this is Logan from whatever financial institution it is, and I'm calling regarding a recent transaction on your credit card. And you didn't make that purchase. So already I'm lowering your wall as your guard. That's what my opportunity is to get what I need.
Mm-hmm.
And then we agree. You say, "Oh yeah, of course I didn't have a transaction with it. That's what we thought. Let's go ahead and reset your information." And you willingly provide your information to me, the fraudster.
Yeah.
Once I have your information, I can do whatever I want with it. And unfortunately, a lot of people are falling victim to that.
Yeah.
And they're held, they're getting a lot of debt or charges against them, and unfortunately they're a victim.
Oh, that's so terrible. And I see that so often with the elderly. So you've probably seen so many different fraudulent crimes in your experience. What would you say is the most memorable fraud situation or crime you've worked or experienced? And give us the background story without stating any names or companies.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of investigations that are active right now, so I can't disclose those. But one comes to mind, just kind of shows you how brazen fraudsters are. There was a situation where this one fraudster and his brother were intercepting packages. And, packages, you'll get packages every day. The difference was these packages held $28,000 checks and $30,000 checks.
Wow.
And what makes this individual brazen is usually he was successful in intercepting the package. This one particular time he wasn't. The package was delivered to the victim. He was a victim of identity theft. And this individual went straight to the individual's door. He introduced himself. So, for example, he presented himself as the same name as the victim.
Wow.
So he told the individual, "Hey, I was notified by delivery company that the package was delivered to you guys by mistake. You have to share the same name. So just to be safe, John Smith." And he introduced himself, "Hey, I'm John Smith as well." They both laughed about it. The guy even showed him the fake ID.
Wow.
The victim, knowing he wasn't expecting the delivery of a package, didn't know what was in the package. He willingly handed the $28,000 check to this individual. 2 weeks later, he realized, once he got some statements and information in the mail from that institution, that he was the victim, that he just gave this individual he met $28,000.
Wow.
Now, fortunately, this individual was arrested by the postal inspector and task force. But that was definitely brazen, where this individual introduced himself as the victim, and the victim unwillingly or unknowingly gave the information to this guy.
And it's so important to have knowledge and awareness of fraud and what the scams are out there. And that's what we try to do at this nonprofit So you currently lead a team of fraud specialists. What would you say it takes to be a fraud investigator for those interested in pursuing this industry?
Intuition.
Mhm.
Intuition's one, logical thinking,
Mhm.
and then dedication. Because a lot of people, we're all human. We think with our feelings, it's emotional. But when you're dealing with fraud, my worst fear is to inconvenience a valid individual,
Mhm.
an individual that's, it might seem suspicious, but in reality, it's not.
Right.
We have to do everything we take action on as far as an investigator based on facts.
Right. Right.
Whatever your assumption is of an individual or what that person might be doing, unless you can prove it, you don't want to intervene and you don't want to cause inconvenience to an individual.
Right. Right.
So yeah, once again, passion, intuition, logical thinking, and dedication, because it's not an easy job.
Right. Right.
You have to, make sure you're looking at attention to detail. You're having to, potentially work long nights if it's a situation that arises,
Mhm.
and you have to be willing and passionate about what you do to be successful.
Right. Okay. So how can someone obtain their CFE? Certified fraud examiner.
Yeah, certified fraud examiner. I obtained mine several years ago. I've been in the field for over 10 years. However, I only recently received the certification
Mhm.
about 4 or 5 years ago. But in order to receive it, there's different ways to do it. One is have a bachelor's degree and then 2 years of in the field experience.
Oh, okay.
It can be different types of field, but it has to pertain to fraud.
Mhm.
Or let's say you don't have a 4-year degree, not everybody does. If you have a 2-year degree, you can also substitute 4 years for 4 years of work experience.
Okay.
So either 4 years bachelor's degree and 2 years of work experience in fraud related field,
Mhm.
or a 2-year degree and 4 years of work experience in fraud related field.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. And then you have to take a test.
Yeah, you do have to definitely take an exam. It is proctored. So there is an individual watching you and making sure that you're answering the questions, truthfully, and that's your ability without any assistance, obviously. And then there's 4 different parts of it too. I don't remember all the parts, but I know for sure there is a law part of it,
Okay.
and you have to have a certain grade for each section before you can proceed.
Now, if they don't have a degree, can they take like a course?
To my understanding is, fortunately, I have a degree. To my understanding is, I believe you can possibly substitute even a 2-year degree with more experience in the field.
Mhm.
But the website Association of Certified Fraud Examiners would be your best.
Okay. Okay. All right. So fraud awareness and spreading the awareness is key to the fight to fraud against fraud actors. So what are some prevention tips you can provide to the individual consumer and businesses to help mitigate it or recognize fraud?
Yeah, as I previously stated with the financial institution situation, if an individual calls you impersonating or claiming to be your financial institution, don't provide any information. Go ahead and hang the phone call up, look on the back of your credit card, and make that phone call to that phone number.
Mhm.
That way, any information you're giving is for sure going to be given to the individual that's needed it. And they can kind of educate you on what needs to be taking place, whether your account is compromised, your credit card. Also, we all would love to get more money. We're all just humans. We all have bills. We all have responsibilities in life. And sometimes you're approached either by text, by a phone call, by social media with this magical opportunity to get money
Mhm.
unsolicited. That they just want to give you money for some reason. And that would be nice, but in reality, it's not the truth. So don't give out your information to them because you might be in a bad financial situation already. It's just going to make it worse. You're going to be responsible for debt that's accumulated that's without your knowledge that you give to this individual that you just met. You just don't want to make sure you're fall victim to that.
And making sure you don't click on stuff that you're emailed.
Yeah.
That is just so important.
Yeah, because I mean, just like an example is, let's say we all do Google. You perform a Google search of Walmart. We're all, creatures of habit. You want to click that first link, the ad, Walmart. Unfortunately, sometimes fraudsters create websites looks just like Walmart, but instead of that L in
Yeah.
Walmart, it's a 1. You click it, it looks just like it. You log in your credentials and you provide your credit card information. Now the fraudster has it. Now, luckily, Google does a good job as far as closing those websites quickly. But these fraudsters, this is their life. This is what they do every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's up for 2 hours, 4 hours, however long that might be,
Mhm.
that's enough to get a lot of individuals victim.
That makes so much sense. This is such important information, and I hope everybody really honed in on what he said. This is really knowledge and awareness is key to this fight against fraud. Um, so I'm going to close out this interview. And I do want to share that I want to thank you all for tuning in and listening to this very insightful interview. I hope this information was helpful and you're able to utilize this discussion to your benefit. The Everyday Daily Real Adult Nonprofit Learning Organization has several other seminars posted on our website at www.TEDRAnonprofitlearning.org for everyday adult navigating through life's challenges and processes. Please visit our website and take a look at all of the resources to help you in understanding various situations and processes. And I definitely want to say thank you to Logan for joining us today. Such good information. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us, and you all have a great day.